This is the Bleav in Pro Wrestling podcast. Here's Rick Ucchino and SP3 on the Bleav Podcast Network.
Oh, yes, and we are not alone, ladies and gentlemen. We have made it. It is WrestleMania weekend, Good Friday morning, Good Friday afternoon, Saturday afternoon, heck, even Sunday, whenever you're listening to this, watching this on the Bleav in Pro Wrestling podcast and YouTube channels. It is a very, very special day. Yes, Rick Ucchino is here. Yes, SP3 is here. But we are not alone. We are joined today on the most stupendous WrestleMania prediction show of all time. Former WWE broadcaster, host of the sessions on Volume Sports, published cookbook author. Go out and buy Messy in the Kitchen if you haven't gotten it so far. Canada's greatest export and the GOAT host of all time, Renee Paquette, joining us here on the Bleav in Pro Wrestling podcast. Thank you so much for being here. This is great.
Thank you guys for having me. This is great. I'm really excited to hang out with you guys. It is WrestleMania week. It's just around the corner. It's all happening. Are we ready for 45 hours of professional wrestling to watch together?
Yeah. So I'm insane because I'm going to be, as of this, we're recording this early in the week, but as of today, I'm in Dallas and I'm going to SmackDown, the Hall of Fame, night 1, night 2, and Stand and Deliver. So, I'm going to be, by the time my flight leaves Monday morning, I'm going to be fried and I'm going to
take a little like rest. Well, I would say you have to take the wrestling palate cleanser, but that's actually not true because Monday after Raw, of course, is like the most important Raw of all time. So you can at least watch it from the comfort of your home.
Yes, correct. And then, I'll be honest, I'm SP3. I'm probably not going to watch NXT on Tuesday. I'll be completely honest with you.
It's so much.
There's so much. It's ridiculous. And this man watches more wrestling than I do.
I do. I got a whole bunch of wrestling because there's ROH Supercard of Honor, GCW Bloodsport. I got to see John on that. I got to see Joey Janela Spring Break 6. Me and Renee might get into debate if I bring up that topic because I am going for AJ Gray. I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
How dare you? Yeah. Good thing we're not recording this at my house.
Hey, I'm thinking about you,
man. It's 2 minutes in.
I'm thinking about you, so you don't have to watch, the light tubes and stuff. Even though you have the best Twitter handle whenever John's in one of those matches, the best.
Thank God for emojis. Sometimes I can just use emojis or a GIF to like get my emotion across to people.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the best thing about you, honestly, leaving WWE was now that you're able to swear on Twitter, and it's hilarious to be.
I swear a lot. It's actually shocking to me that I have never sworn in a national broadcast. I can't believe it. I can't believe I've never done it.
I've been in radio for 13 years and I have, knock on wood, yet to do it. Now I've had my microphone off and I've been screaming and, throwing stuff while I'm in the middle of a newscast, but thankfully I've never.
It can be a little scary. It's funny because now that I do my Sirius XM show with Misha Tate, we can swear on that. So every time I like drop an F-bomb or something, I'm like, no one's I'm good. We're good with that. It still feels weird to me.
Yeah, we can swear here if we do it. I just have to put the explicit content little marker on there.
Yeah, but you know what? Let the fox fly.
Yes. Let the fox fly.
That is what I'm talking about. We got a lot to dive into. We got 15 matches / segments. And if there's time at the end, God, I hope there's time at the end. Does Renee believe that she can beat SP3 in trivia challenge?
I'm nervous. I'm going to drag out my answers so I don't have to do the trivia.
Oh, well, they're timed. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I was going to say, well, the trivia is timed, but I get what you're saying. Really quickly, though, got to give a shout out to our friends over at Bet Online. Without them, we would not be here today. It is finally here. The top teams in college basketball have been determined. It is the Final Four. They're playing for a national championship. If you're looking to wager on these games or the national title itself, head on over to betonline.ag on your desktop or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code Bleav to get started. That is BLEAV. BetOnline remains your #1 spot for all of the updated odds and info, along with player props and new contests throughout the year. It is the best source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and everyone's favorite Vegas, casino, and poker games. Talking my language there. It is super easy to get started, so join today. Learn why everyone is saying that BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on sports. Bet Online, where the game starts. And let's dive right into
what
Wrestle.
What a pro read that was.
Oh, thank you. I
Right?
appreciate that.
Yeah, it was nice.
Very nice.
Thank you very, very much. That honestly, that means a lot coming from you. So let's dive right into WrestleMania weekend. And this was a match that was added really abruptly. I wish it was something that was completely different. A lot of unfortunate circumstances surrounding this, but we are going to get two members of the New Day, King Woods, Kofi Kingston, going up against Ridge Holland and Sheamus with Butch at ringside for this one. Renee, we'll start with you. How do you think this one shakes out?
I think that there's no possible way that King Woods and Kofi Kingston don't walk away with a W on this one. I mean, not only are they true King legends themselves, but, I think that we all just need to see that victory. We need a victory for E, who, of course, is not able to be there. Maybe go in there, just lay it in a little bit, I want to see, I'm excited to see this. You're like, it was kind of thrown together, but I love Woods in the ring. I love Kofi in the ring. I think it's a good opportunity for these other guys to get a little moment to shine on that WrestleMania stage as well. I love tag team wrestling as well, so I am excited to see this matchup, but I'm going to go Woods and Kofi on this one.
SP3, I'm rooting for Xavier Woods because he has not won a match at WrestleMania yet in his career. I think
gosh, really?
Yeah, him or E. Unfortunately, E has not been will not be able to compete. Kofi obviously has, but for me, I think this has got to be the revenge tour for Big E. Not, saying that they need to get revenge or anything, like get a receipt or anything like that, but they got to pick up the W here.
100%.
I'm picking the New Day. SP3, where are you going with this one?
I understand where both of y'all are coming from. I want to root for the New Day. I just interviewed King Woods a couple of months back, and he was one of my favorite interviews I've ever done. But they're gonna make Butch the difference maker here, and I think Sheamus and Ridge Holland are gonna pull out the victory, unfortunately.
Wow. I mean, I do, and I like the idea where you're coming from, that yes, they do have that third person that's out there on the apron. We'll see what kind of a difference maker Butch is going to be. I am a Butch fan. The name maybe less so, but I am a fan of Butch. But I'm betting against you on this one. I still think that it's Woods and Kofi.
I just wish they would just add Ricochet and make this a trios match, to be completely honest. I mean, he's not on the card anyway. They're already disrespecting the Intercontinental Championship by not putting on this card.
How crazy is that, right?
Renee, it hasn't been defended on a premium live event since last year's WrestleMania.
Really?
Insane.
Accurate fact. Trust me, I have been monitoring this for the better course of a year.
Crazy.
I have been carrying the flag for the Intercontinental Championship.
But isn't it funny how often you have to have that conversation of like, who's the Intercontinental Champion? Who's going to be that fighting champion? Who's going to be that workhorse? And like, those have been the guys obviously throughout the duration of the title that represent that, but it still is that conversation where you're like, when are we going to slap a little more respect on the IC title?
Well, Ricochet's lost 3 matches in 2 shows, so there is that. You say you love tag team matches. The former Intercontinental Champion is in this match. It is the SmackDown Tag Team titles. It is going to be on Saturday. It is the Usos versus Nakamura and Rick Boogs. And SP3, we have been seeing them build this man up for months now. He acts like the number 2, but it has been all about Rick Boogs once the bell rings. In any match that involves him and Shinsuke Nakamura, I think Boogs gets the win. I think he and Nakamura walk away with the tag team titles. And if you want to count the NXT championship, I mean, Shinsuke Nakamura is a Grand Slam champion, baby. I think they are going for the SmackDown tag team titles on Sunday. Was it Sunday? Is that what it was?
No, Saturday. That's Saturday. So I think they got to create some doubt for what's going to happen on night 2 in the main event with the Bloodline member Roman Reigns. So I think that the Usos, they've been saying too much that they are 252 days as SmackDown Tag Team Champion, the longest reigning SmackDown Tag Team Champions of all time. That's usually a red herring that they're about to lose those SmackDown Tag Team titles. So I think Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs win as well.
Yeah, this one, I do agree with you guys on this one, but I just as like a fan, And as a human being, I don't know Rick Boogs personally, but the other 3 professional wrestlers, superstars in this matchup, I love so much. I am a huge Usos fan. I'm a huge Shinsuke Nakamura fan. I think that we all walk away winners from this match because they're going to tear it up. I think they're also probably going to come out with I want to see what their entrances are going to look like. Like you picture that Mania moment for what, I mean, we've seen Shinsuke in those moments, being able to have Nita Strauss come out and play for him, having those huge moments for Shinsuke. We've not been able to see Boogs in that situation, but I think that obviously he's going to bring a ton of energy. He's going to bring something really cool to that table. But yeah, I agree with you. I think when you look at the whole bloodline situation, we got to have a little something happen to generate a little bit more controversy amongst them. So I do see the Usos dropping the titles.
I will say this, Rick Boogs doing his Freddie Mercury routine with 80, 90,000 people in 18th state.
That'd be cool.
Cannot wait for that. That is going to be an absolutely electric moment.
Agreed.
And I hope he enjoys every second of it.
I mean, that's what everyone says. It's like that moment when you walk out on that ramp, especially during the day, you get to Cowboy Stadium. It's like soak up that moment, soak up that time on that ramp and what that entrance feels like. So I really hope that he does get to take all that in.
Shameless plug, got to talk to Montez Ford earlier on in the week. That interview is now available on the Bleav in Pro Wrestling podcast and the YouTube channel right now. Like, share, and subscribe. He told me they are stealing the entire weekend with this match right here. The Street Profits, Alpha Academy, the team you just love to hate and secretly hope they turn babyface one day. And then RK Bro, a team that has taken over the entire tag team division since they were just unlikely duo last year in April, and they have taken off and run with it. Renee, this one's a tough one for me. This is a very, very tough one for me, but I think why upset the apple cart? Why disrupt a really, really good thing going? RK Bro is like the most overact in the entire company right now. I think they're going to keep that momentum going. I think they're going to retain. But me and Angelo Dawkins, we went to the same high school. I love Montez Ford. Those are my boys. I'm rooting for them to win. It's their first actual WrestleMania in front of a crowd after back-to-back roadblocks the last 2 years. I'm rooting for the Profits, but I think it's going to be RK Bro that keeps them. What do you say, Renee?
See, I think I do see the Profits maybe having their moment. You know, we got to see Bianca Belair have her moment last year. We got to see Montez Ford jump into the ring with her, and her whole family's at ringside. I think that Montez and Angelo Dawkins, I think they get to have their moment this weekend. And I think, yes, RK Bro is amazing. This is, I mean, we always talk about how amazing Randy Orton is. He always gets better. He makes every situation so great. But this is also a really great moment for him to take that moment and put over another tag team. So I think the Street Profits are going to walk away with the W.
SP3, Randy Orton's working his way up to 500 at WrestleMania. This will be his 18th match. He's got a record of 7-10 right now. So he's working his way there. Does he get closer, or do you think somebody else walks away with this? What about the Alpha Academy? Do you like their chances?
I love the Alpha Academy. Chad Gable. Yes. Chad Gable has watched all the best of Pauly Shore because he gets that essence of the Pauly Shore character from the 90s that I loved in Encino Man, loved in all his films, and he just gets it. And I've always saw that in Chad Gable, even when he was in NXT. He just had that charisma, that charm to him. Otis is also the kind of the same way. They play off each other so well. I really want them to have like more opportunities like this. RK Bro, like you said, the hottest tag team, one of the hottest acts in all of WWE. But I'm going to agree with Renee here, and I'm going to go with the Street Profits to become the new Raw Tag Team Champions. I think that this is their time to get the victory and have that moment at WrestleMania. And since it's on a separate night as Bianca, you can have a replay of last year and have Bianca come out and celebrate with the Street Profits, hopefully with some gold of her own.
Can you picture what that celebration looks like too? Imagine Street Profits having that celebration in Cowboy Stadium and having everyone just like behind them. The fireworks are going off. Like, I just think that's too good of a great moment to pass up for WWE.
You know, they usually like to do like the confetti, just drop a ton of mini Solo cups from the arena. Just plow the ring with Solo cups. They could make snow angels in the ring. They would have a ton of fun with that. I think it would be all about who they pin, because as we saw a couple weeks on Raw, RK Bro is so hot. They attack Alpha Academy, no problem. People are cheering for the Street Profits. They attack Riddle, they were booing him.
Yeah.
So it'd be very interesting. If the Profits win, I think they have to pin somebody from the Alpha Academy,
Agreed.
unless they're trying to turn them heel, which we have seen an aggressive side in them as of late. Moving on, this is a match that was added this past Monday on Raw. A good old-fashioned hoss fight. Renee, the undefeated Omos, who demolished a former WWE champion and King Woods last year at WrestleMania. Does he beat another former WWE champion WrestleMania Sunday when he takes on Bobby Lashley?
This one's a tough one because I just can't picture a situation where Bobby Lashley's gonna walk away like with a loss on this. But are they gonna break the streak of Omos? Like, I'm really torn on this one. I feel like I have not been around WWE for some time, but knowing the way that Vince feels about Bobby Lashley, how much he loves him, what a star that guy is. God, but is it just a great stage for Bobby to be able to put somebody like Omos over?
It's tough, I know.
It is tough. I'm really torn on this one. I'm like, my gut is telling me to my heart is telling me to go with Bobby, but my gut is telling me to go with Omos. I'm gonna go.
We don't have money. We don't have money on this.
I know, but I hate being wrong. Okay, I'm gonna go Omos.
Omos. All right. Look, I get what Vince sees in Omos. You talk about how he feels about Bobby Lashley. You would know that better than us, obviously. But I get what he sees in Omos, right? Like, Bobby Lashley is a huge man. I stood next to him at the press junket at SummerSlam.
Easy man.
He dwarfs me. He looked like a teenage boy standing next to Omos on Monday Night Raw. I see the attraction. I see why Vince wants Omos to succeed. I think he's just a little too green at this moment. Does he deserve to get put over Bobby Lashley in this spot? I don't know, but they've been
that's
pushing.
really like kind of how I feel too. It's like I just don't know that it's the time for that moment, you know? And because it was so last minute, it just kind of happened that it does feel like maybe it's not the time for this to happen.
I think Bobby gets over by being the one to take him off his feet. Like, we saw that on Monday. So I think Bobby would be like the first one to try to take him down, but I could see a spot where Lashley's going for the full Nelson and he just can't get his big mitts around Omos and it ends up costing him. I think Vince is going to keep on the train here, SP3. I think Omos picks up this win.
I would be very confident in my choice if they didn't have Omos take his first bump on Monday Night Raw. If they would have saved that for WrestleMania, then I would have been like, yeah, like what you said, Rick, that they give Lashley the person to finally make Omos get off of his feet and then he loses. But because they already did that and because they need baby faces that are strong coming out of WrestleMania, regardless of who comes out of the biggest WrestleMania match of all time on night 2, Bobby Lashley got a huge pop on Monday Night Raw, so I'm gonna go with Lashley on this one.
People are gonna love it though. They love a spectacle. These two are gonna yeah, it's just these. They don't even have to do anything. Just these two standing next to each other. People lost their minds on Monday Night Raw. So Jerry's World is gonna go insane for that. This is a match that I know not a lot of people are excited about because they want Baron Corbin to go back to being bum-ass Baron Corbin like my boy SP3 over here. But this, to me, I think is going to be a low-key banger. I don't think people are ready for how good this match is going to be because both Drew and Baron Corbin can handle themselves in the ring. SP3, does the undefeated Happy Corbin keep his streak going against the Scottish, what do they call him? Psychopath Warrior? What do they call him these days?
Yeah,
Warrior.
Works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who gets the win? McIntyre or Corbin?
Drew McIntyre. Like the same reason I said with Bobby Lashley. You need strong baby faces coming out of WrestleMania, and Drew McIntyre is going to get the huge win of being the first person to beat Happy Corbin. You know, you got Brock Lesnar ending the Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania 30, and then you got Drew McIntyre ending Happy Corbin's streak at WrestleMania 38.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think that there is no, I think you have to have that moment of the crowd being like, okay, great, it happened. We can get Corbin back to being miserable. We can lose the hats. We can lose the Hawaiian shirts. I do see Drew walking away with the win on this one. I think we need to we like to see Baron Corbin struggle a little bit. I think we got to get back to that. People love that. And that's, I want to see Corbin suffering a little bit more. So I hope that he loses.
Corbin, I mean, look, there is part of me that thinks that maybe he sneaks a win here because he is the guy who retired Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. He's the last guy who pinned Roman Reigns, right?
No one remembers that.
Facts. Thank you, Renee.
I know, but they love.
I appreciate that you did your research. We don't remember that.
I just got called out by Renee Paquette, but that's all right. Here's my hope. I really hope that McIntyre isn't the one to kick out of End of Days. No one has kicked out of End of Days. I have no problem with Drew McIntyre winning this match, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick him to win this match. But Corbin, I had the chance to talk to him a couple years ago, and he loves the fact that no one's kicked out of End of Days, and he really wants that to be a big deal when somebody finally does kick out of End of Days. I don't think the crowd would realize that at this point. I think that's something that they hopefully will build up to one day, but they got to let him actually win some matches and put him in some big spots first. So I don't think it's a time for that, but I will pick Drew McIntyre to win this one. It'll be a clean sweep.
You're right. If there ever was a moment for it to happen, though, of course, on the grandest stage of them all would be a beautiful spot to do it. But you're right. The story has not been built for that to be the moment. And there's not enough time for the commentators to really get it over.
All that. Yeah.
Probably be an 8-minute match.
I feel like Corey Graves would he be on commentary at that point? I don't know how they're going to set it all up, but Corey would be somebody who would throw that in, but it would still be, absolutely wasted at that point.
For sure.
I bring up commentators because I don't know if this man will be on the desk at that point. We have Pat McAfee, who has just been absolute gold since coming to WWE. He has taken to this role as a commentator like a duck to water. We know he can cut a fantastic promo, and we've seen him work in the ring before. His matches with Adam Cole, and obviously in War Games, stole the show there. We know Austin Theory can go. I'm really looking forward to this matchup, SP3. I'm a big fan of Pat McAfee. How do you see this one shaking out?
I'm a big fan of Austin Theory. That's the very first wrestler that I ever interviewed. It was at an independent event in 2018 when he was still wrestling for Evolve, and he said his dreams was to make it to WrestleMania and have a dream match with John Cena. So he's checking off one thing off his bucket list here. So I'm very happy for him. But because he beat the Intercontinental Champion on Monday Night Raw, I think that was there to protect him losing here. So I think that Pat McAfee is finally going to end his reverse streak of 0-2 and finally win a match in the WWE.
Yeah, I do see Pat going over on this one. What I would love to see though is God, I would love Vince's music to hit at some point and him make the walk down the ramp and to get involved in some capacity. I don't think that that's going to happen. A girl can dream, but I would love something like that to happen. I think that it would be cool if there was some kind of a wacky finish thrown in there for this match. Because you have Vince's protege.
Exactly.
I guess you just end up, didn't Vince say he was going to what did he say he was going to do in front of his whole family, or send a selfie to his family or something like that? Something really gruesome. I don't remember exactly what it was. But I want to see those segments with Austin Theory and with Vince if Austin Theory walks away with a loss at Mania, to see what's going to happen. But I'm with you guys. I'm a huge fan of Pat McAfee. I think he is, he's really taken to all aspects of WWE. I mean, that guy just doesn't miss. He's so damn good. I mean, you guys heard the crowd this week on Monday Night Raw in Pittsburgh. They wanted that dude to be there. And I think it's a huge opportunity for him to get that win.
I will never forget being at Extreme Rules last year in Columbus, and when they hit Pat McAfee's music before they went on and Seven Nation Army starts, and the whole crowd, they lit up. They no-sold Michael Cole, the greatest guy of all time. Pat McAfee got the biggest pop of an announcer outside of JR that I've ever been at. And I'm like, This dude's a star.
Well, to be fair, Michael Cole does not react to the crowd ever when he walks out. So he stepped on his own pop. He could totally embrace that. He is one of the absolute greatest of all time. But yes, no, Pat's great. Also, everyone loves Seven Nation Army. Who doesn't want to get behind that song?
That's very true. I'm hoping that's what they play at WrestleMania, because when he came out the other day, they played the SmackDown theme, and I'm like, no, Seven Nation Army. Play Seven Nation Army. What are you doing?
It's gonna be really expensive. Not that they can't afford it. They can, but like pay Jack White in the Third Man Records a couple bucks.
Yeah, I think it would be worth it for WrestleMania. Again, imagine 80,000 people going to Seven Nation.
If you got Joan Jett out there, you can imagine Jack White was out there and played him to the ring. Holy shit, he tried.
That'd be awesome.
That would be the coolest thing ever. Though they would never do it because Jack White's too tall. They'd be like, get him out of here. He's taller than our guys.
Renee, you bring up Vince McMahon, and look, Austin Theory obviously has a seal of approval here. He is his protege, and whether or not they were BS, a smokescreen, there were rumors at one point about Vince being involved in some way, shape, or form with this matchup. So I'm going to go ahead and say that does happen, and I'm going to pick Austin Theory here. I think Austin getting a win at WrestleMania makes a ton of sense for him as they continue his build. And please, he just beat the Intercontinental Champion clean as a sheet. I know Pat McAfee's great, but don't do that just to have him lose to an announcer. Please don't do that.
Well, I think when you say an announcer with Pat McAfee, though, I just don't think that term applies to him.
That's fair.
It's like the dude is a phenomenon, especially with all the things that he has recently accomplished. But also, I mean, does Pat need a win? No. He's over no matter what. Austin Theory with that win would be more impactful, certainly.
All right, let's talk about the Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way, the only women's match on the card for Sunday, April 3rd. We got Liv for Brutality. We got the tag team champions, Queen Zelina and Carmella. We got Sasha Banks and Naomi. And then for some reason, we have the bitter enemies from last year, now best friends, Natalya and Shayna Baszler, SP3. We've talked about this. It seems like Sasha and Naomi are the heavy favorites in this match. Which way are you choosing? Which way are you going?
I'm going with the Boston Glow connection. I want Sasha Banks last year became one of two African-American women to headline WrestleMania, making history. She needs to make history once again and become the first two African-American women to win the women's tag team titles together. And she would be a 3-time women's tag team champion. I need Sasha to get off the 0-6 snide that she's been on at WrestleMania and get it done here.
It kind of kills me to imagine her eventually turning on Naomi, though. I cannot handle that. That would kill me.
True.
You can't be mean to Trin. She's just an angel on earth. And nobody can do that to her. But talk about some good heat. I think it would be really, really great. But no, I think it's going to be Liv and Rhea. I think that they are an adored tag team. I think the buildup that Liv Morgan has had this past year, especially in like the last 6 months or so, with her matches with Becky, I think the crowd has really gotten behind her, and there's just something so natural and organic about what Liv Morgan has. And you've got Rhea Ripley, who same thing. I mean, the girl is a beast. Yes. She is such a huge star, huge future ahead of her. And I think them winning the tag titles would be really, really cool. Them as a tag team, it's new and it's fresh and it's fun. I mean, I guess all those tag teams are, remotely new, but no, I do love the idea of Liv and Rhea getting that win.
I'm trying to will this to happen, right? Like, I don't necessarily think this is the way they're going to go, but I'm trying to will it to happen. I'm choosing Liv and Rhea, and I want Liv to get the pinfall. This is somebody who we've seen it over the last few years. She busts her ass to get better. She's constantly throwing in new moves in the ring.
Always.
And here's the thing, man. She has been put through the ringer as far as the WWE creative carousel is going. It's like they're giving her something and they're taking it away. Oh, we're going to put you in this tag team. No, we're going to split you up. No, we're going to put you back together. Oh, wait, now we're going to put you in this tag team. Oh, that's not working. All right, let's try to change this around. She deserves this. She deserves to finally win some gold. She deserves to get over on a big moment. I really do like her and Rhea. I rolled my eyes when they put her together with those two together because I'm like, come on, another random tag team. What are we doing? But yeah, I've liked it. It's one of those happy things where it's like, I didn't like it at first. I've grown to love it. I want Liv to get the pinfall here. I think we're all in agreement that Carmella and Zelina don't have a chance. They haven't won a match since January 3rd at this point.
Sorry, ladies.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen. But I'm hoping that it's Liv and Rhea that get the win on WrestleMania Sunday. Here's another one everybody's excited about: The Miz,
Oh yeah,
Logan Paul versus the Mysterios. Renee, it's got to be the Miz's time, right? He hasn't won. I wrote this note down. He hasn't won a match on the main card since WrestleMania 28, when Team Johnny beat Team Teddy in 2012. It has been that long since he's won a match on the main card at WrestleMania.
Oh my God.
wow.
That's crazy.
That's according to Stage Match.
I think, you bring in one of the Paul brothers. I think that he's got some steam behind him, of course. We've got the mask being added into this situation. Though I do I think it was Ryan Satin was posting about it after Raw, that I didn't realize, and I don't think it's been brought forward as much, that Dominic Mysterio has to earn that mask. And I love that. I think that that's a really cool storyline. And I'm excited for the focus to kind of shift to that and to start adding some more meaningful moments on top of them. You've got Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. Like, how cool that is even a thing that exists. I love that. And such amazing human beings. But I think being able to add that little nugget of information on there is really, really cool. Gosh, who's going to win this one? I'm going to go Rey and Dominic. I think Miz is going to bite it again.
Man, I'm kind of rooting for Miz, to be honest with you. When I looked that up, I'm like, because he should have beat Shane McMahon a few years ago. That he should have gone over. And I get it.
Yeah.
They fell off the tower, and it was on top. And I'm like, really? They couldn't even give the Miz that one?
Yeah.
He's with Logan Paul, right? I think Logan Paul has a chance to show out, kind of like Bad Bunny did last year. He's a great athlete. We'll see how it transitions to the ring.
He's putting in the work, though. The videos of him working on stuff. I mean, the dude. He's obviously an incredible athlete.
Yeah.
And he's taking this very seriously. So I love that. But yeah, I don't know.
I think Lucha Logan gets the win.
I've been liking Logan Paul. I think that Logan Paul has a future in WWE more than he has in boxing and all the other things that he's doing. And in a perfect world, I've been saying this in a few places, and I'll say it here. In a perfect world, without concerts, without boxing, this should be the Miz and the Paul brothers versus Bad Bunny and the Mysterios. That's what this match should have been. And I would be loving this match so much more, because Bad Bunny is the greatest celebrity to ever. He's the greatest celebrity to ever step foot in a WrestleMania ring.
Oh my God. When he showed up at Rumble and just went, it was amazing. The dude's awesome. I'm a huge fan.
Me too. Same here. And I'm going to agree with Renee here. I'm going to go with the Mysterios, because they've been building up Logan Paul to take the 619. He takes it, and the Mysterios win.
Man, no love for the Miz. Tell you what,
I love the Miz so much, but he's great in that. He's great at losing. It works for him.
He's the heel you want to see get punched in the face. That's kind of
his dude that doesn't need wins. He does not need to win.
It's kind of his thing.
That's very true. And he had his moment to shine. He won the WWE Championship.
Yeah, he's been there. Also, his wife's Maurice. He wins every day of his life.
Absolutely.
Facts. All right, screw it. Go Mysterios. I will give some love to this man, New Edge, right? This is a guy that I have grown up watching. He started watching wrestling in 98 when he kind of first really came onto the scene. The last 2 years, it's kind of been the greatest hits tour, giving us everything that the fans love. And now we have this new Judgment Edge on the mountain of his omnipotence. Thank God I said that correctly.
Yeah, good for you.
And he's going up against AJ Styles. And if you listen to the promos, Renee, that Edge has been talking about, he's like, look, that old Edge that we've seen for the last 2 years is weak. He's weak. And if he goes up against AJ Styles, he would lose. But that Edge is dead. And to me, if you're trying to set up this as new, super Edge, this is a guy that is going to go to the next level. I don't know if you can give him a loss to AJ Styles at WrestleMania right off the bat. I think this is a character that has some legs. I'm afraid you might squash some credibility with it if you make him lose to AJ Styles. We all win in this scenario because we're getting Edge versus AJ Styles.
100%.
But I'm choosing Edge in this one. What do you say, Renee?
It's funny. That's what I was thinking too. As I was like thinking of like my most like cop out answer was like, we all win. The fans win. We get to see this. Like, I am so excited to see this, and I will say I'm very happy to see AJ Styles back in singles competition. As much as I loved him and Omos together, I'm such an AJ Styles fan as everybody else is. But I love getting to see him getting back to just being AJ and being phenomenal. Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I think that this has to be Edge. He's so damn good. His promos are so special. I think the stuff that he is leaning into right now is really, really great, and you cannot lose any steam behind that. So I think that they're going to tear that place apart and have an insane, like probably match of all of WrestleMania between these two. But I see Edge walking away with the victory.
SP3.
This is the match I'm looking forward to the most on either night of WrestleMania. I feel like this is going to be a classic. Edge has had the best match, in my opinion, last year against Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. AJ Styles is one of the best performers of this generation, pretty much. I think Edge gets the victory here because they got this new character, and I think it would kind of damage the character if he lost here. AJ Styles, he's won plenty. He's beaten Randy Orton, Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. I think Edge, this is his spot.
Also, you talk about my tweets during John's matches. I like seeing Beth's tweets to Edge.
Yes, wholeheartedly agree. She's just been adding her own little flair to this story with new Edge on social media. So if you're not following her, you're really kind of missing out on that. This is a match that I can't believe that I'm as excited for it as I am. But I love me some Sami Zayn. He is going up against Johnny Knoxville, WrestleMania Sunday. Anything goes. He's going up against the Jackass, Renee. Like, literally anything could happen here.
I feel like as I've been like looking at WrestleMania, I'm like, what am I excited for? Like, what's the build? And I was like, I know that the Sami Zayn Johnny Knoxville thing is happening, and I'm so excited for it. I fucking love Sami Zayn. He's one of my all-time favorites. And I think as much as, yes, they have their build up on TV and whatnot, but the build up that they've been doing on their own through social media has been so good. I thoroughly enjoy, like, it's not very often that like I will stop on a post and like actually fully read what the thing is. And like when Sami Zayn goes on his like rants about stuff, like I just think he's so great and he's so funny. And I think Johnny Knoxville like is really showing up for this as well, which I love. Which is why I think that Johnny Knoxville is in fact going to win, and we are going to see Sami Zayn walking away yet again a sore loser. And I look forward to more social media posts afterwards.
Yeah, SP3, I think this has been kind of telegraphed here a little bit. They take the Intercontinental Championship off of Sami Zayn, so Johnny Knoxville doesn't win the IC title. And the second that they made this anything goes, I'm like, well, there's the equalizer for Johnny Knoxville. It's going to help kind of hide any deficiencies that he may have in the ring.
What's he going to have? Is he going to have like the giant hand that slaps, or like what are they going to do? I actually just watched Jackass Forever last night. I didn't realize it was on Paramount Plus, and I was like, oh my God, I love Jackass. Oh my God, it's just spectacular.
There's so many fun things that they could do here. Sami Zayn's probably getting electrocuted at the end of this match, and I think Johnny Knoxville is going to get the win here.
I want to see someone go into like a pit of snakes or like some fighters or something.
What would Sami be willing to do? You would know better than us.
I think he's willing to do anything. Like, I think it could happen. I hope that it is something as ridiculous and over the top as it could be. I mean, WrestleMania is so big. It's so grandiose. We've all seen how much money WWE is pulling in. So let's bring in the snake pit.
You sold me, Renee. I want to see a snake pit. I just saw this as an opportunity to get some more special guests on the show. Give me Steve-O coming out. Give me Wee Man coming out. The whole Jackass gang just beating up Sami Zayn. And yes, I agree. Johnny Knoxville wins. And I also agree, this has been the best buildup of any match at WrestleMania because of what they've been doing on their own, on social media. My favorite one was Sammy going to Knoxville and interviewing people about Johnny Knoxville, and then basically saying, "Oh, I love Jackass," and he's like, "Oh, you're not good," and the father like, "Oh, you're Sami Zayn. Oh, you're good. You just don't raise children well." Like, he's just great. Sami Zayn
He's
is
the
awesome.
best.
I will always and forever be a fan of Sami Zayn. Yeah, it's going to be Johnny Knoxville here. But again, hate to take the cop out. We're all going to win in this situation.
Yeah.
Here is the match that I am looking forward to the most personally, but also I'm nervous heading into this because I don't know if I'm ready to see my girl drop the title. It is Becky Lynch. She has held on to it for 3 years, as long as she has been active, over 600 days. Renee, a lot of people are expecting Bianca Belair to get her receipt from SummerSlam. Hopefully this match is longer than 26 seconds because both performers deserve it, especially with the build that they've had. That go-home segment they had on Monday was absolutely spectacular. I think Becky Lynch is going to absolutely snap if she loses the title on Saturday. Do you think it happens? Is it Bianca's time here?
It is certainly Bianca's time. Yes, I do think it's time for that receipt from SummerSlam. She needs to have this win. I love both of these women so much. I love their characters so much. I love the buildup that they've had. Becky needs somewhere else to go. She needs something else to do, and I think losing the title right now is the perfect time for that. It's also the perfect time for Bianca to take that spotlight and be at the tippy top of the entire industry. And yeah, I mean, damn, for Bianca to have like Mania moments, like unbelievable. Get it, girl. I mean, who doesn't have, anything but amazing things to say about Bianca Belair? But for Becky Lynch, I mean, yeah, you look at the comeback she's had since having her baby, what she's been able to do in the ring. She looks better than ever. But yeah, I think character-wise, it's like, now where do we go? What do we do? So I think to see that fall from grace for Becky would be great.
And I feel like Becky would want to put Bianca over in this situation. She wanted to put Shayna Baszler over at WrestleMania 36. Obviously, that did not happen. SP3. WWE, they love the 4 horsewomen. They love to put the 4 horsewomen over. Last year at WrestleMania was kind of a changing of the guard. We left with Bianca and Rhea Ripley as the 2 women's champions. And then what happened? Come SummerSlam, we're right back to Charlotte. We're right back to Becky Lynch. So I know you want to see the nuclear meltdown with Bianca fans on social media. Do you think they go there, or is it Bianca's time?
Yeah, I'm an agent of chaos, so I love to see people angry on social media. So
you're the one.
part of me wants Becky Lynch to win just to see how people will react. But no, I can't go against Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is starting the new streak. WWE needs to start a new streak, and it's going to start with Bianca Belair. She beat Sasha Banks last year. She's going to beat Becky Lynch this year. Maybe next year she'll be Bayley. The year after that, she'll be Charlotte. And yes, Bianca Belair is going to be the new owner of the WrestleMania streak.
Are we going to see Bayley at WrestleMania?
I hope so. God, I hope so. Like,
I would love it. I would love it after last year for sure.
Yeah, they inexplicably leave her off the card last year, which infuriated me. And then, she gets hurt, and I'm like, if she's healthy and they're keeping her off again this year, that again, it hurts me. But I'm hoping she makes it. If not, the Raw after. Again, if she's healthy, if she's ready to go.
Yeah.
But going to this match here, look, I think it's going to be Bianca, but I can't pick Bianca. I'll be wrong. I'll take the L here, but I'm gonna pick Becky Lynch to retain.
You just don't want to agree with us. You're just doing it for conversation's sake.
No, I just don't want to pick against Becky Lynch. Like that is my girl. That is my girl. I'm a huge fan. She has been an inspiration to me in my career. I don't want to pick against her. I just can't do it. I was happy I was there at SummerSlam to see her come back. All I'm hoping is that we get a really, really good match and they give these ladies time to tear the house down. And it's not one of these, oh, well, we're going to give Bianca her true receipt and this match is going to go 20 seconds. Like, that's what I'm afraid is going to happen.
That would be a shame. That would truly be a shame. Yes. Also, I would just like to have a side note that I cannot wait to see what their gear is because Becky crushes it with her looks. Yes. And I love that Bianca makes her own stuff. She's a legit super hero super person. She blows my mind with the skill that she has. So I'm excited to see what she makes.
I'm excited to see how big Becky's sunglasses are going to be. I mean, she already went huge with that visor like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, can you get much more bigger than that? But it is Texas, so I don't know. I'm excited to see what she's going to have there. Speaking of Texas, that has been the crutch for the entire build for what is being now reported as the main event segment of night one, WrestleMania Saturday. It is the KO show. Again, with Stone Cold Steve Austin as the guest. Kind of hard to pick something here, SP3, because it's not technically a match. So I guess what I'll ask you is, what do you think we see here? Do you think they do a last-minute adjustment, have the bell ring, that there's some kind of a segment that leads to a match, or is this just Stone Cold's going to come in there, he's going to stomp a mud hole, he's going to give a Stone Cold stunner, he's going to crack some beers, and the crowd's going to go home happy?
I think you're pretty much on the money there. I think we're gonna get 12 minutes all together. We're gonna get about 5 to 6 minutes of entrances and a little bit of promo work from both guys, and then Austin's gonna beat Kevin Owens' ass all over that AT&T Stadium. It might even go into the crowd, a little callback to him and Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13. He's going to beat him up there. And this is pretty much what he did with like Brock Lesnar in the lead up to WrestleMania 20, when he was already retired a year earlier, and he had this big brawl with Brock Lesnar on SmackDown to build up Brock and Goldberg. I think it's going to be similar to that with Kevin Owens here. Austin drops the stunner, drinks some beers, and everybody in AT&T Stadium is going to go crazy.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be an epic promo segment that ends with a stunner and smashing some beers, of course. But let's just give some flowers to Kevin Owens really quickly, because as much as, yes, we're all excited for Stone Cold to be there and really excited to see these two just kind of nose to nose talking some trash. But I feel like looking at what Kevin Owens did on Monday with that promo segment, he really has a gift of sucking you in, and there's this believability to what he does, and there's just something very fluid about the way that he is on, like, through his promos on the mic, that I it's funny, I always watch Monday Night Raw, like, you know, bell to bell, but I was watching it last night, and I've not having paid as close attention, but watching Kevin do his thing, I was like, man, he is in a really sweet spot right now.
Yes, he is. And
he's really talking from his heart, I think. I mean, he is a fan. He loves pro wrestling. He is a great pro wrestler, but for him to have this moment with Stone Cold is something so special and so cool to be able to do this in Texas. I see him, you know, going for the stunner, not being able to hit it. Stone Cold hits him. Beers are chugged and everyone goes home happy except for Kevin, but he still will be very happy.
Yes, and I think that this is going to be an epic promo segment. And honestly, this might be the first time in a long time that I'm going to be happy to hear the what chants again. Like, I can't wait for like Stone Cold to do the whole what routine again with the 70, 80, 90, however many people.
Can we also just talk about how great Brock was with the what chants on Monday?
I think Brock
promo.
Yes.
I think babyface Brock was great with the what chance, but I also think Roman was great with the what chance too.
Yeah.
In a completely different way. And this is one of those things, like 4 or 5 years ago, that might have been something that rattled Roman. And he completely turned it back on the audience. And it was so great. It's been so great to watch him turn into this. He's always been a confident badass in the ring, but watching him turn into that confident badass with the microphone has been great as well.
100%.
All right, we got 3 matches left to cover here, and then we'll get into our trivia challenge. But first things first, got to give a shout out to our friends over at Athletic Greens. Tons of people take multivitamins, but it is important to choose one that is top quality. With one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you are absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to start your day off right. Their special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, nervous system, immune system, energy, recovery, focus, and aging. It is also lifestyle friendly and fits a wide range of diets. There's only 1 gram of sugar and no chemicals or artificial anything. Reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. Just 1 scoop and a cup of water every day. That is it. 1 scoop, cup of water, you're done. To make it even easier, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Bleav. That is BLEAV. Again, athleticgreens.com/Bleav. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Athletic Greens, take ownership of your health. All right, SP3, your girl came back at the Royal Rumble. She won the whole damn thing. They went against conventional wisdom and said, forget Becky and Ronda at this point. We're going to do Ronda and Charlotte Flair, build as the main event in some circles. Does your girl get it done? Does she dethrone the queen, the opportunity at WrestleMania on night one? Are you picking Ronda Rousey to win this, SP3?
Like I always say, I wear my Vince hat, and he's saying one for me and one for you, because this is the match he wanted at WrestleMania 35 before Becky Lynch caught fire and became the man. He wanted Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair for a championship. I think this match is going to be a banger. I think a lot of people are trying to undermine this because these are two polarizing figures, but these two women, especially Charlotte Flair, whenever there's a big match, she steps up big time. And it makes me kind of think twice about picking my favorite Ronda Rousey, because anytime I picked against Charlotte Flair in a big match, I'm still scarred by WrestleMania 34 and picking Asuka over her and her ending that streak.
Yeah.
So, and it is the question of, is Ronda going to be here full time or not? I'm going to go with yes, and I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey to get the victory.
Super hard to bet against Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania, but yeah, you're right. It's hard to bet against Charlotte as well. This is also, I agree with you. I do think that this is a match that people are sleeping on. And having called their matches before and having been right there while they're beating the ever-loving crap out of each other with kendo sticks, oh my God, they're not going to leave any stone unturned when they're out there. That's for sure. And I think that there's going to be a little fuel behind that fire of people kind of waffling on this a little bit and not feeling as pumped up for this necessarily as they are for Becky and Bianca or, some of the other matches. But it's hard you can't bet against Ronda. She's got that new mom strength. She came back at Rumble. You can't bet against Ronda. It's got to be her, but they are going to put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, if the crowd isn't into this match at the beginning, I think they definitely will be by the end of it for sure. We've seen Charlotte do that before. She is just incredible at flipping a switch and then just getting the crowd invested. I forget what pay-per-view it was, but when the We Want Becky chants were coming out and she just flipped the bird to the entire crowd and walked around for a solid 35 seconds.
Money in the Bank last year against Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, exactly. So the crowd's going to be invested in this. I am going to choose Ronda Rousey. This has been all set up about, whether or not Charlotte can make her tap. There's no way that they're going to have Ronda Rousey tap out here. I don't think that's going to be the case. Charlotte Flair has tapped out before a number of times. I think Ronda Rousey is going to win it. And then I think the storyline moving forward, at least overall, is Becky's going to be knocked down to the bottom. Ronda Rousey is going to be at the top. How do we meet and get these guys together for WrestleMania 39 out in Los Angeles? So I think that's what's going to go. I am choosing Ronda Rousey. We saw the setup on Monday. We know Seth frickin' Rollins is going to be having a match at WrestleMania. We don't know against who. It is going to be vacant here.
Next.
Seth Rollins versus vacant. Renee, who do you think the opponent could possibly be, and how do you think this is going to go down?
Let me just say, I will die if it's Shane. And no disrespect to Shane, but obviously this has to be Cody Rhodes. I have been on Cody Rhodes watch for weeks, like everybody else, waiting to see when is this going to happen. What version of Cody are we going to get? Should he show up to WWE? Apparently the ink is dry on this contract. Apparently it's happened, but I can neither confirm nor deny any of this. But I'm really excited to see what that's going to be. I think between Seth and Cody, if that is what the situation is going to be, we know how great both these guys are in the ring. We know that they're going to put on a hell of a show no matter what. But I'm really looking forward to that Cody promo. I want to hear from him. I want to hear what's going on. I want to see what his entrance is going to look like. Is he coming out in the Nightmare Family deal? What are we going to get? So that's the thing I'm really excited about. It's just there's all those question marks about what this means Should it be Cody Rhodes back in WWE? And what does this run look like for him now that the circumstances have drastically changed since his last time within the company?
Yeah, SP3, there's part of me that, because Cody is the most predicted choice, so there's part of me that is worried that they'll push him off for the Raw after Mania, and then all of a sudden somebody like a Shane or a Goldberg or even the Undertaker will come down and they will squash Seth Rollins inside of like 35 seconds. We've seen Undertaker in Saudi Arabia just show up wearing a coat and hat and beat AJ Styles with a choke slam. All right, he don't have to go out there and be in in-ring shape to do that. Didn't even take off his hat to beat AJ Styles in Saudi Arabia. So that's kind of what's nervous. So until we get adrenaline in my soul coming out over the airways or smoke and mirrors or whatever it's going to be.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Only smoke and mirrors. Oh, that's
wait.
A bop.
It's stuff like this that like legit makes me like, I love wrestling for stuff like this. It's great.
Yes. So until I hear that, I'm going to be nervous that they're going to try and swerve everybody and then bring Cody Rhodes out on the Monday after. But I think it has to be Cody Rhodes here. Whoever it is, Seth Rollins is losing. It's been a great build. He's an MVP. I love the character that he's doing, but he's gotten to the point where he's bulletproof at this point. It doesn't matter. One win and he's right back into any kind of title picture, anything major they want to do with him. So my pick is Rollins to lose. The question is against who? I hope it's Cody Rhodes. What do you say?
It better be Cody Rhodes.
It better be.
I will certainly be disappointed if it's not. As much as I do think that it's, it's smart on WWE's side if they've just been holding off on purpose. People have been watching. I mean, people are always watching Raw in the build up to WrestleMania anyways, but I think people are extra tuned in to wait to see what that moment is going to be. So, in the way that WWE can kind of, drag us along a little bit, I hope that we do get the payoff at WrestleMania. I want to see Cody get that pop in Dallas in a stadium. I think that would be a missed opportunity to make it feel so big and special. Yes, the Raw after Mania is also great, but I think that grandiose moment needs to happen to reestablish Cody within WWE.
I agree with everything Renee had to say. I think the biggest thing is he has to be the American Nightmare. We have to hear adrenaline in
I love
my soul.
Stardust, though, for the record. I'm a big Stardust fan.
I liked Stardust for a lot of things. I loved his feud with Stephen Amell. That was great stuff for me. But it was 6-7 years ago that Vince McMahon chose Stardust over making Cody Rhodes again after the passing of Dusty Rhodes. So it is very appropriate that this is an opponent of Vince McMahon's choosing, and it's adrenaline in my soul. Vince McMahon is choosing Cody Rhodes, and I think Cody Rhodes wins against Seth Rollins.
I think it would be a great if the swerve was they actually started to play Stardust's music. And then everybody kind of just lost their shit. Like, oh my God, they're not going to do it. And then there's some kind of like pyro or explosion or something like that. And then the lights go out and then they hit adrenaline afterwards.
They should do the artist melody. They should start with Stardust, then give us the undashing version, and then give us the adrenaline in my
I'd be pumped if he came back as Dashing Cody Rhodes. I love that gimmick.
Me too.
All right. The greatest wrestling match of all. No, wait, what are they calling this one? The greatest wrestling match was Edge and Randy Orton, but this is obviously they've been hyping this. Yeah, they've been hyping this one up as the biggest match. Title unification. We're going to have titles making babies, apparently, according to Brock Lesnar. The undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world is going to be crowned in the main event Sunday, April 3rd, WrestleMania in Dallas, Texas. SP3, we've been talking about this ad nauseum on the show. They have been wanting to put Roman Reigns over Brock Lesnar in the main event of WrestleMania for a long time now. That appears to be the end game. He ran down all the receipts that he needed to do. He's got that one box that is left unchecked. Does he check it on Sunday night?
Yes, he gonna get it done. He just like his cousin did against Stone Cold Steve Austin. 2 matches against Stone Cold, he lost, and then the third time was the charm for him to get the victory. It's the same for Roman Reigns. He's gonna beat Brock Lesnar, redeem himself for WrestleMania 31, for WrestleMania 34. I was there live, and he should have won there, but he will win here.
Renee?
It's all Roman all day, no question. It's Roman, obviously.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to even dispute other than the fact that, yes, we all love Brock right now. He's fantastic. Babyface Brock is awesome. I want to hang out with him. It actually makes me wish that I was like still working there so I could do like segments with him because I think he's so great. But yeah, it's Roman all day, 100%.
It has to be.
Especially with the titles being unified. It's like to have someone be the first champion of that, it's got to be Roman.
Yeah, this is the perfect bow on the top of the present, right? This has been the culmination of their entire rivalry to this point. And I know Brock is still going to be around afterwards, and you know, Roman's going to need some new opponents coming out of WrestleMania, but this epic title run is going to continue, and I think it has to continue. He is still your top star, and yeah, this is going to be Roman Reigns finally getting his win over Brock Lesnar, and it's going to be all she wrote, and it's going to be these two dudes are going to beat the ever-loving shit out of each other, and I am looking
There's some
forward.
great gifts to come out of this one. I can feel it.
I think ultimately it's going to be Paul Heyman that kind of costs Brock in this one, because he promised to kick Roman and Paul Heyman's ass at WrestleMania. So I think maybe Paul is the gives Roman that slight little window there where Brock goes to kick Paul's ass, and then Roman saves the day and wins the match. I think that might be the finish.
Could be.
But we'll see. All right, you guys, we've gone a solid hour. I'll leave it up to you guys. I don't know what your schedules are. Do we want to do the quick trivia challenge?
Let's do it.
Oh, Renee says we got to go. We got to go, SP3.
I was born ready. I had to change my name to SP3.
If I lose, we're cutting it.
Creative control.
All right. So
that doesn't work for me, brother.
All right, so there's three rounds. The first two are timed. They're individual questions. So Renee, there's multiple answers in the first two rounds. So you'll hear music. You'll have 30 seconds to give me as many answers up to 10 as you can. The second round, it's 10 seconds. Give me as many answers as you can up to 5. And then it's going to be a head-to-head in round 3, which will be worth however many points I need it to be. You guys will bring in. You guys will give me the answer, and then we'll have a winner. All right, let's go. So we'll start with SP3 so you can see how it's done.
Thank you.
And when you hear the music, SP3, you know the routine. You get ready to go. This is all WrestleMania themed, obviously. SP3, 13 men have won their first world championship on the grandest stage of them all. You have 30 seconds to name at least or up to 10 of them. All right.
God.
13 men have won their first world championship on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania. 30 seconds to name 10 of them when you hear the music.
I'm gonna be terrible at this.
Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior, Yokozuna, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bro, no, he didn't win that. Damn it, Chris Benoit, Batista, John Cena. Damn it.
You did really good.
You did really good.
Here's the thing, like, you're literally like reading them off as I have them in order here.
Yeah,
like, right?
I that's how my brain works. I did it by the night. Like, I was like, oh, I can't even think past 23 anymore.
This is going to kill me because, I mean, when I was working for WWE, what happened last week? I don't remember. So
I'm the same way. I don't
remember anything.
My
memory is rotten.
Yeah, I'm the same exact way. We did a trivia challenge for another company like a weekend ago, and I got all of 2 questions right. Like, that's like they're serious. That's why I'm the host of this show.
Who won that trivia battle?
I'm terrible. Huh?
Who won that trivia challenge that you were talking about, Rick?
I don't know, some dude. So the other ones that you missed, SP3, were Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins, Kofi Kingston, Braun Strowman, and Drew McIntyre. So you missed.
The only one I could, when you said that, I was like, I could just picture Seth winning it. That was the only one that really popped to mind.
That would have been the one that I would have said.
I would have been like Seth, period. I don't know the rest.
All right, Renee, are you ready?
No.
Okay. The Undertaker has the most WrestleMania appearances of all time at 27, obviously with a record of 25-2. 13 other superstars have had more than 10 appearances at WrestleMania. More than 10. You have 30 seconds to name up to 10 of them.
Triple H. Oh, wait.
When the music starts. When the music starts. All right.
Triple H. Shawn. Oh gosh. Kane?
Which one?
Kane?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh my God. This is so stressful. 10. Okay, who's been there for like 10? I have 3 so far.
You got 3. You got 3.
10. Okay, 10 years. I'm like, who's, because you want to say like, I don't know, Austin, Rock, but like they had short runs. It wasn't them.
Yeah. Yeah, Austin and Rock, I think Rock had 10 exactly, so he didn't make the cut. Randy Orton.
Oh shit, of course.
John Cena.
Damn.
Big Show. Bret Hart, Chris Jericho, Edge, Hulk Hogan, Randy
Jericho
Savage.
was a sneaky one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Randy Savage, Rey Mysterio. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. The Rock had 11. The Rock had 11.
Oh.
He was up there. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
All right. So the score is 8-3. 8-3. All right, SP3. 10 seconds here. This I'm not gonna lie. This one's kind of a hard one, but but you're so good with like the numbers, right? So this might be easy for you. Between WrestleManias 29 and 34.
Oh, damn.
8 superstars made their WWE debuts in the ring at WrestleMania.
Oh, wow.
That's 2013 to 2018 to give you a better shot at that. So there's 8 of them. You have 10 seconds to name 5 of them.
At WrestleMania?
At WrestleMania, yes. Their first match, their debut match was at WrestleMania. There's 8 of them between WrestleMania 29 and WrestleMania 34. I was trying to come up with questions that we hadn't heard in all the trivia contests that you've done. So
that's a good one. That's a good one because
I should know all of these because I worked there that entire time.
That's why I thought it'd be cheating if I gave it to you. All right, SP3, 10 seconds to name 5 when you hear the music.
Big E and Fandango.
Yes.
That was 29. Nicholas. That counts. That counts. You didn't have that. I knew it.
Son of a bitch. Yes. All right. I got to give it to you.
Damn. Who?
Yeah. So it was 9.
Oh, okay.
And so 9 of them, not 8 superstars. Peyton Royce.
Paige was one, right? No, she was the Raw after.
Yeah, she was Raw after she beat AJ Lee. Lana.
32.
I thought you would get Ronda Rousey for sure.
Yeah, man. It was just I really just wanted to get that Nicholas one because I knew you didn't have it.
That was a good one. That was a good plug.
Such a son of a bitch. Sting. Baron Corbin. Again, I said WWE debut. Baron Corbin. Sami Zayn was the other one. Fandango and Big E that you did get. So yeah, those were the 9, and you got 3 of them. So
I only got the ones that I was actually there present for, 29 and 34. I'm mad I didn't say Ronda, but I really want to get that Nicholas one. Shout out to Nicholas.
You sneaky son of a bitch. All right, Renee, this one will hopefully be a little bit more easier for you.
Oh God.
You have 10 seconds to name up to 5 of the participants in the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match that happened at WrestleMania 21.
Oh shit. Okay.
All right. When the music hits.
Hardys. No? Jericho? Yes. Christian, Edge. Who else?
Kane, Benoit, and Shelton Benjamin.
Yes.
Yeah. So you got 3. So let me see. My Fairfield math says it's 11-6.
Sounds about right.
11-6, which means our final question will be worth 6 points. All right. So, all right. I will read the question. Let me finish the question in its entirety, and then you guys will buzz in by saying your names. All right. The person who is closest to this answer will end up getting it correct, unless, of course, you ring in and you nail it. All right. Of course, we all know that WrestleMania 36 was performed inside the empty WWE Performance Center. All told, between both nights, how many matches were filmed for the show?
Can I have a follow-up question to this? Does this mean not live, like just the ones that were pre-taped?
Yeah, that all the matches that took place at WrestleMania 36 that were taped.
Okay. So you don't mean like just the cinematic matches?
Correct.
Okay.
So all of them. Anybody want to buzz in?
I'm going to say 12.
Okay, that is incorrect. SP3.
18.
Wow. You
Was
were
it
so
18?
close. You were one off. It was 19 matches were at WrestleMania 36. That is 9 on both nights, including pre-shows. And then the match that I'm pretty sure a lot of people were going to forget, this is what I thought people were going to get tricked up on, was the dark main event of Drew McIntyre retaining the WWE Championship over the Big Show.
I did not count that one. I had a feeling. I was like, they had like 2 matches on the pre-show, 7 on the main show. It's 18.
My brain literally, I was like, I only picture Edge and Randy. What else happened?
And that match took an hour.
I don't remember anything.
I thought that was the show.
You think that I was the one taking bumps for a living? I don't remember anything.
Well, we hear from SP3 all the time, Renee, so we'll still give you the winner's circle. Plug anything and everything you have. It has been absolutely a pleasure to do this show with you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on. I really appreciate it and looking forward to catching some Mania this weekend.
All right. So obviously you got your show, The Sessions. I know you did a big interview with Johnny Gargano this week. Tell people where they can find all your stuff.
Yeah, I've got a podcast. My podcast comes out, The Sessions, every Tuesday and Thursday. Johnny Gargano was on Tuesday. Thursday, I had on Dylan Postel, Hornswoggle. Lots of good stuff coming up. I love doing that show. So yeah, anywhere you guys listen to podcasts, get on that and check it out.
All right. And obviously follow her on Twitter at Renee Paquette, SP3. Big weekend ahead for True Heel Heat over on your YouTube channel.
Yes, go over, subscribe to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. We got a full week of content, watch-alongs for Bloodsport, GCW, ROH, Impact Wrestling, and WrestleMania's Night 1 and 2. I'm going to be on the Roundtable Review, True Heel Heat on Friday. It's a bunch of content. Plus, here we got a True Heel Heat takeover on the Bleav in Pro Wrestling podcast. So much to enjoy. And thank you so much, Renee. I'm such a big fan of yours. You are amazing at what you do. Yes. The Sessions is one of my favorite podcasts to listen to. You were the reason why Talking Smack was my favorite WWE weekly show for the longest time. And I just so happy that I got to do this show with you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. It's always fun to meet new people and get to hang out and talk a little wrestling.
Especially when we get the double 513 takeover of this show, you know what I'm saying? So Cincinnati, just absolutely represent on this one. Yes, and I share his sentiments. I could watch you doing a show about knitting. Like seriously, I could.
I did pick up knitting at some point, so if I start plugging that content, you better subscribe.
All right, on it, absolutely. And guys, make sure to subscribe to the Bleav in Pro Wrestling podcast and YouTube channels. We're growing that audience. Really appreciate you guys. We're still in our infancy here, but we're doing some really big things. My interview with Montez Ford is up right now. And if you're watching this Friday morning, chances are I'm at the press junket in Dallas, Texas, getting a ton of interviews that are going to come out over the next few weeks here on Bleav in Pro Wrestling. So please like, share, subscribe. Appreciate all the support. Thank you again, Renee Paquette, for joining us here. Enjoy WrestleMania week, everybody. This has been the Bleav in Pro Wrestling podcast, the most stupendous WrestleMania prediction show, brought to you by Bet Online.